Okay. So we are focusing on the topic number system. And how many questions were asked in the last year? Okay, Dinesh says 10. Dinesh, you can directly message. Okay, directly you can. It would be visible to everyone also. Somashekar 14 and 16. Fine. What about others? What do you think is the number of questions that have been asked in 15? Fine. Around 20. Okay. 22. Okay. All right. So let's start with that aspect itself. कि ये क्यों relevant है and why we are focusing on this topic only. Okay. For 7 days. Fine. All right. So let's start with the number system topic. First is the analysis itself of 2023 paper. Okay. Till 2022, all the questions, number system, yes, it took a major portion. It was there. Still 8 to 10 questions were asked from the topic number system. Okay. Every year till 2022. Okay. In 2023, let's just see the previous year questions. Fine. All right. So see here, this is all the questions that are given here. They are from year 2023 CSAT paper, the last year. Okay. So here, what is the remainder? Okay. First question. The question on 3-digit numbers. Okay. The question on units digit. The question on, again, a 3-digit number. So here you have 4 questions already asked in your number system. Fine. Now, again, 3 of the 5 positive integers. This is regarding the nature of number system. Regarding nature of integers in the number system. Okay. So your 5th question, again, regarding the nature of the number system. Okay. 6th question. Fine. Then you have, again, a 3-digit number. Okay. 7th question. Here you have, again, 6-digit number. Some pattern is there. Already asked many times in your UPSC previous year question. Okay. 8th question. Fine. 9th question. Okay. Again, positive integer. Now you can see here, with respect to single digit, 10th question. With respect to digit, 11th question. Regarding divisibility, 12th question. Sum of the digits, 13th question. Okay. Again, remainder, 14th question. Sum of 4-digit number, 15th question. Okay. 3-digit number, 16th question. Here, this might seem like a calendar problem, but again, which day is it exactly? After 10 to the power 10th day, if you have to analyze this aspect, again, you should know the concept of remainder theorem. Then only you will be able to solve such a question. Okay. So here, this is, what was the number here? 17 or 18, this one. Okay. 17, okay, 18, fine. See here, 19th question. Okay, that is again, nature is given here. Question, statement-based questions here. 20th question. Okay, is P greater than Q? Again, statement 1, statement 2, nature-based question. Fine. Again, 3-digit number, 21st question. Remainder, 22nd. Okay, or this is 21 and this is your 22nd. So in total, 22 questions were asked in your CSAT 2024 just from one topic, that is number system. Okay, so that is the exact reason why we are covering only this topic, and the crash course is focused upon this topic alone. Okay, that is, if you can solve this number amount of questions plus the requisite comprehension also, there is fair chance that you will be able to clear the paper. Okay, but at the same time, that should not be a strategy. There should be multiple aspects of it. Yes, this year 22 questions were asked, may not be true for the next year. Okay, maybe it will go back to 15 or 17 questions, which was the normal trend. Okay, so it is very important that you follow this pattern. This pattern is important. On the basis of this, we have narrowed it down to the number system topic. Fine. So now I hope it gives you a clear-cut idea why we are focusing on this number system topic. Okay. Now, in the next 7 days, what is the priority here? Okay, the priority is we will try to cover these portions here. Okay, all these portions we will try to cover. That is our aim here. Okay, and this will basically help you in completing the number system topic. Fine. All right. Till here, any doubt, anyone? Because now I hope it is very clear why we are focusing on number system. Fine. So now we are starting with the number system topic. Okay. Now, because it's a crash course, we will not go into much basics part of it. Okay. I'm assuming that you know a basic amount of stuff here. Okay. And we are proceeding from there. Fine. So let's start with the first aspect itself. For example, now the basic aspect based on which you will be solving the questions, right? So first is prime number. So you tell me what is a prime number? Let's just revise very fast and then we will go to the questions. Okay. When we talk about prime numbers, we basically mean any number in the number system which, what is the definition of a prime number? It is, any idea, anyone? The definition of prime number. It is any number, yes, any number which is divisible by 1 and itself, right? So here, the first aspect of it is what? A prime number is a number. Okay, these are prime numbers. The reason is the number here is divisible by 1 and itself. Okay. Now come to the next one, composite number. When we talk about composite number, that means you have more than two factors. Okay, if you have more than two factors, that means that is a composite number. 4, for example. The factors of 4 are 1, 2, 4. Okay, so more than two factors, you have a composite number. Fine. Natural number. What is the natural number here? Natural number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are natural numbers. Okay. Whole number. What is a whole number? It is if you include 0 to the natural number. That is a whole number. Take. What is an integer here? Integer is, when we talk about integers, please keep this in mind. We are talking about both positive and negative integers. If it is not given, if the statement is a is an integer, okay, please understand it can be negative integers also. You have to keep that in mind. Fine. Okay, so on the basis of this, what about 0? What do you think? 0 is a positive integer or a negative integer? What do you think? Positive. Okay. What about others? See, this class will not work if it is not interactive. Okay. You have to ensure that the class is interactive. Then only the CSAT will work. The entire syllabus. Okay. Positive. Okay. Neutral. Positive. What about others? What about Sagar, Harsha? Positive. Okay. Neutral. ठीक है? Positive. All right. Positive. So let's start from this aspect itself. That is, when we talk about integers, see, we represent it like this, right? We are talking about negative integers. We are talking about positive integers. Okay. But there is this portion here that is 0, which is neither. Okay. So 0 is neither positive nor negative. Okay. So it's neither a positive integer nor a negative integer. That is the first thing that you should keep in mind. Fine. All right. Coming back to the normal one. Again, even number, even number is any number which is divisible by 2. Odd number is any number which is not divisible by 2 or which gives a remainder of 1. That is an odd number. Okay. So now again, coming back to the same question. What about 0? Is 0 an even number or an odd number? Or is it neither? 0 is an odd number, even number, neither. 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 Okay. So see here, 0, when we talk about 0, what is the condition of even number? Even number is any number which is divisible by 2. That is, if I divide it by 2, the remainder I should get is 0. That is an even number. Okay. So 0 is an even number because when I divide it by 2, what happens? The remainder I get is 0. Therefore, 0 is an even number. Okay, these kind of clarity you need to have. The reason is in statement based questions this kind of pattern can be asked. Okay, so that is the reason. I hope it's very clear. When we talk about 0, 0 is neither positive nor negative. Okay, when we talk about 0, it is an even number. Okay, now what about if I say -2? Is this an even number, odd number, or cannot say? What would you say here? -2, a negative number. Is it an odd number, an even number, or cannot say? No, no, it's an integer, but is it an even or an odd number? Even. ठीक है? Cannot say. Cannot say. ठीक है? So see here, when we talk about -6, -4, -2, they all are what? Even numbers. ठीक है? That is, when you divide it by 2, the remainder you will get is what? Again, 0. Okay? So the logic of even number is what? When I divide it by 2, the remainder that I should get is 0. Okay. For example, here again -2, 2, -1, -2, 0. The remainder is 0 here. Okay. So just because it's a negative number, you cannot say it cannot be even. That clarity has to be there. Okay. I hope this is very clear. Any doubt in the basics now? Till now? Any doubt? Anyone? यहाँ तक clear है what we have discussed. We have discussed three important aspects. First is the nature of 0. Okay. The second is the nature of negative numbers we have discussed. Okay. -2, -4, -6. If it is even, if it is odd. Okay. Can we proceed to the next one? Next concept. Yes. Chalo. If this part of it is clear, now let us just go into the second aspect of it. Okay. For example, here, let me say we are dealing only with prime number. Okay. Let me say I'm talking about P and Q. Okay. Two such numbers. So here basically what it means is P and Q are two such numbers which are prime numbers. Okay. Now if I say P into Q, okay, P into Q is an even number. Would this statement be right or false? That is, P and Q are prime numbers, then PQ is an even number. What do you think? This is a true statement or a false statement? That is, product of two prime numbers, it is an even number. True, false, true. Okay. All right, so let's see here. First and the foremost thing is to answer this question, you should understand first and foremost the difference between, okay, here, first and the foremost thing, that is, if I use the word can be, what does it mean? This means basically we are talking about a possibility. Okay. When we use the words is a, must be, definitely is, we are talking about a very definite statement. Okay. Two differences here. What does it mean? Okay. When I say a definite statement, I mean that statement is true for all values of P and Q. Okay. Let me again repeat here. When I say a definite statement, for example, this is a definite statement. That is, when P and Q are prime numbers, PQ is an even number. That means is a, matlab, वो definite statement. Then it has to be true for all the prime numbers. So P can be any prime number, Q can be any prime number, but the product of the two should be always be an even number. That is the conclusion here. Okay. So here, if I say P, let's say 3, it's a prime number. Q is, let's say 5, again a prime number. But here what happens? P into Q is 15, which is what? It's odd, which is not even. What does it mean here? This statement that is there, which is a definite statement, it is not true. The reason it is false. The reason is what? The reason is it is not true for all values of P and Q. Are you getting this, everyone? जब भी हम डेफिनेट कंक्लूजन की बात करते हैं, द डेफिनेट कंक्लूजन का क्या क्राइटेरिया है? पी क्यू इज एन इवन नंबर, पी क्यू मस्ट बी एन इवन नंबर, पी क्यू डेफिनेटली इज एन इवन नंबर. वो डेफिनेट कंक्लूजन है और वो हर वैल्यूज ऑफ पी एंड क्यू के लिए इट हैज टू बी एन इवन नंबर. If it is not true for even one, that means that conclusion is false. Okay. Now, at the same time, if this conclusion is rephrased, PQ can be an even number, then what would you say here? PQ can be an even number. This means here it is true. In some cases, it can be an even number. In other cases, it will be an odd number. Are you understanding this difference here? The difference of possibility, the difference of definite statements. Is this clear, everyone? क्योंकि ये बेसिस बनेगा पूरे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने का. ओके, एनी डाउट यू हैव, जस्ट फील फ्री टू आस्क. ओके, अदरवाइज आगे का कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा. ओके, and I'm going fast because it's a crash course, but at any point of time you don't understand, please feel free to stop the class and ask. Okay, chalo, what about others? Is this clear, everyone, what we are saying? Yes. ठीक. तो चलो, for clarity, let's do one more and then we'll jump into the questions directly. Fine. Okay, so here let's say if I say the same numbers, right? PQ. Okay, here I have two numbers P and Q which are prime numbers. Both are prime numbers. So I'm saying P plus Q must be odd. Okay, P into Q must be even. Okay, which conclusions are valid here out of these two? P and Q are any prime numbers. Now conclusion 1 says P plus Q must be odd. Conclusion 2 says P into Q must be even. Which conclusion is valid here? One only. Both fail. Neither. What about others? Pravalika fine, Ragan fine, Harsha fine, Shubham fine. Neither. Both fail. Okay. Yes. So the first conclusion fails. The reason is P plus Q must be odd. Again, here must be means what? This is definite statement. When it's a definite statement, what does it mean? It should be true for all values of P and Q. Okay. But here we can see if I take 3 and 5, again, what happens? Both are prime numbers. 3 plus 5 is even, which is not odd. Okay. So both conclusions are false. Fine. If this part of it is clear now, I think we can directly jump into the questions. Fine. Chalo. So here we are starting with statements. Okay, we are starting with statements today. And in the next class, we'll start with the proper statement based question. Okay, that aspect we'll cover from tomorrow onwards. Today, we are starting with the basic part of it. Take. So if you do not understand, feel free to ask. The questions will become tougher as we go along. Okay. So let's start with the first one. Two statements given here. Okay. The first statement is if P is the product of 5 consecutive prime numbers, okay, then P can be an odd number. Okay. So can be means what? Again, we are talking about a possibility. Okay. Second statement says if Q is a sum of 5 consecutive natural numbers. First of all, what do we mean by consecutive? When we talk about consecutive, if we talk about consecutive even numbers, what does it mean? Or consecutive natural numbers, right? It has to be continuous. Okay, 2, 4, 6. Continuous even numbers. Yes, exactly. One after the other. Okay. All right. So the second statement says Q is the sum of 5 consecutive natural numbers. Then Q is a multiple. So this is a definite statement. Q is a multiple of 3. Now read the two statements. Tell me which statement is correct here. Okay. Both statements. Okay. Fine. Listening on. Both. Okay. Pratap C. Okay. C. 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 Dinesh A. Okay. So we are getting two different answers. Okay. Fine. C. One only. Okay. So let's see here. P is the product of 5 consecutive prime numbers. That means let's say P is 5 consecutive prime numbers. Okay. P2, P3, P4, P5. Okay. Now the only scenario here is can be is given. So we have to ensure that even if in one scenario it becomes odd, it is odd, right? So here, yeah, I'm choosing an odd number here in all of them. Okay, so what happens here? When I have odd numbers multiplying with each other, the final product is what? It is always odd. Okay, so here it can be 3, 5. I'm choosing random numbers. Okay, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. 5 those prime numbers. Okay, so that is the product of odd numbers is odd. Okay. Similarly, the product of even numbers is even. The product of even and odd. This is the product of even and odders, you can guess, it is, let's say 2. Here it is 3. That means 6. That is again even. Okay. Odd into odd is odd. Okay. So this you have to keep in mind. Okay. Now, so this one is correct because multiplication of 5 odds, so that is odd. Now what about this one? Q is the sum of 5 consecutive natural numbers. Okay. So let's take here Q is sum of 5 consecutive natural numbers. So here you can see sum of 5 consecutive natural numbers. It is 9, 12, 14, 15. So here it is multiple of 3. Fine. But then here it is not mentioned that it has to start with 1. Okay. It can be, I can take 5 consecutive natural numbers any way I want. The only reason here is it has to be consecutive. So these are also consecutive. Okay. So in this scenario, what happens? 6 plus 5, 11, 15, 15, that is 20. Now, is this divisible by, or is it a multiple of 3? It is not. Okay. So when we say is a multiple, that means what? It has to be true for all the cases. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay. So here is a multiple, that means what? It has to be true for all scenarios. I hope this is clear. Fine. So here statement 2 is okay. Acha. What about others? Is this clear what you have done? So here the answer is 1 only. Any doubt, anyone here? Okay. Chalo, if this part of it is clear to you, tell me if I change the second conclusion, if I say if Q is the sum of first 5 consecutive natural numbers, then what will happen? Then Q is a multiple of 3. Then it would be definitely correct. Okay. So herein lies the difference. What is the difference here? The difference between consecutive numbers and first some number, consecutive numbers. Okay. So here when we talk about this first 5 consecutive prime numbers, we mean what? We start with 2, 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay. So this is the basic premise that you have to keep in mind. Okay. The difference between consecutive and first consecutive. Okay. So if this is clear to you, now try the next one. Okay. So here again, 2 statements given. Okay. P is the product of all positive integers, then P can never be 0. That is the first statement. Second is Q is the sum of 10 integers, then Q can never be negative. Okay. So out of these 2 statements, which statements are correct? Try this one out. D1. Okay. What about others? Bigger one. Finish. One. Right? So here you can clearly see, right? P is the product of all positive integers. That means we are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. So the product of them will be what? It can never be 0. Okay. Here we are talking about the product here. Okay, so can never be 0. That is actually correct. Okay. Similarly here, q is the sum of 10 integers. Q can never be negative. What is the point here? If you are adding up 10 integers here, okay, now q can never be negative. That means what? Here, when we talk about integers, we can take what? We can take both positive and negative integers. Okay. So I hope this is clear. If it is just integers given, we can take negative integers also. Okay. So sum of 10, let's say negative integers, -1, -2, -3. Okay. So q can never be negative. That would be a wrong conclusion. So here the answer is 1 only. Fine. Chalo, if this is clear, try one more. Okay. So here two variables are given, p and q, and their respective natures are given. Okay. Out of these four, which of the above are correct? Tell me. Which might be correct. E and 4, okay. Rajnikant, fine. Okay, Saga, fine. Ashwin, fine. Harsha, fine. Dinesh, fine. Fine. What about Pravalika? Raghavan? Somashekar? Pratap? Pravalika 3, 4. Great. Lakshmi, fine. ठीक है? It's not valid. Here it is just said what? Ki can be 0 or 1. Okay, so you just have to prove what, Dinesh? That is, you can prove if q by p is 0. Okay, in some of the scenario, can be is there, right? When can be is there, you just have to prove that in even if in one scenario, if it can be equal to 0. ठीक है? तो वो valid है. Okay? You don't have to calculate every value of q and p, q by p. ठीक है? So this one and this one, I think everyone negates it clearly. Okay. Now what about this one? Q by P can be 0. When can it be 0? What would be the values here? Here we talk about Q being an integer here. Okay. So if it is an integer, we talk about what? 0 here. And P is what? P, you can put any prime number here. Okay. So in that scenario, let's say if I put 2 here or 3 here, this scenario, what happens? Q by P becomes 0. Okay. Now, similarly here, when can q by p become 1? Okay. Again, the same concept. That is, if it's a prime number, 2 is there. Here also, q is an integer. That means 2 is again an integer. 3 by 3, 2 by 2. Okay, same number. So again 1. ठीक है? चलो. So this one is correct, and here also the same thing. Okay, that is p plus q by q, or this is nothing but p by q plus 1. Okay, so p by q, again, if they are same numbers here, that means what? The entire sum becomes an integer. Okay, so this one is also correct. Fine. Now everyone gave the answer 3 and 4, so I'm not explaining it. Fine. So if I change this question a bit, let's say if I say, consider the following statements when p is a prime number greater than 2 and q is a positive integer. Okay. And if I talk about this conclusion only, q by p can be 0. Now, is this conclusion true or false in this scenario, in the new scenario? Here, p is a prime number greater than 2, q is a positive integer. And if it is false, why? What is the reason? What is the reason? If you are saying this conclusion is false, what might be the reason here? I hope you got the question. That is, here p is a prime number greater than 2 and q is a positive integer. Okay. The conclusion is q by p can be 0. Is this a right conclusion or a wrong conclusion? Anyone? Okay, it's false, but why is it false? What is the reason? Why cannot q by p be 0? Exactly the point. Okay, that is yes. Okay, when q, if q by p has to be 0, that means what? Q has to be 0. But here it is given what? Q is a positive integer. Okay, and positive integer starts with what? 1, 2, 3. Okay, because 0 is neither positive nor negative. I hope this clarity is there. Okay, so if this is clear to you, come to the next one. Okay, now we are going to the fractions part of it, which UPSC focuses on. Okay, so the general term that we did till now, p plus q, p minus q, okay, that is not what UPSC now focuses on. It focuses on this kind of fractions. Okay, so p is some prime number, q is an integer, r is a whole number, and you can see the statements given. P by q will always be greater than q by r. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so try solving this one and then we'll discuss it. Okay, out of these three statements, which statements are correct? Try this one out. Three, okay. One and three, okay. Umasheko, one and three, okay. Fine. Sagar, one and three, okay. Lakshmi 1. One only. Okay. Let's find. Pravalika 1 and 3. Okay. So most of you got 1 and 3. Some got 1. Okay. Okay. So here what we are talking about. Again, P is a prime number greater than 2. Q is an integer. R is a whole number, right? So if you have to make P minus Q by R into a prime number, tell me any values that you will put here. P has to be a prime number greater than 2. So let's say 3. Okay. Okay. 5 minus 3 by 1. Okay. So you can see here 5 is a prime number greater than 2. Yes. Q is an integer. Q is 3, which is an integer. R is a whole number. R is 1, which is a whole number. Okay. So this is correct. So that means 2. Okay. So that's a prime number. That is correct. Now, what about this one? Whenever you see these kind of fractions, okay, P by Q will always be greater than Q by R. So here, a trick to solve such questions is what? There are two ways to negate this statement. One is if you can prove P by Q is less than Q by R, okay, which is generally tedious, okay. The other way to do it is if you can prove P by Q is equal to Q by R. ओके सो जब भी ऐसा फ्रैक्शन फॉर्मेट में आए और will always be, this is what a definite statement, okay, will always be greater than. So in such scenarios what you do is you find out just the opposite. If the opposite is true, the statement is false, okay, or even if you can prove that it is equal in nature, then also it is false. Okay, so for example here P by Q is what? P by Q, it has to be greater than 2. So here 3, let's say 3 by 3, that is 1. Here again Q by R, again the same thing, 3 by 3, 1. Okay, so it is not always greater. Okay, so this one is wrong. Now what about this one? P by Q can be. When we talk about can be, what does it mean? It is it a definite statement or is it a possibility? We are talking about a possibility. Okay, मतलब ऐसा हो सकता है. Okay, so it is saying P by Q can be a number other than elements in R. Now what is R? R is basically whole number. So R is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Okay, so here it can be a number other than element in R. Okay, so yes, it can be even if it is a fraction format. Okay, that is any of the one which is in between. Okay, so as Dinesh has said, if it is 7 by 2, okay, 7 is a prime number and 2 is a whole number. 7 by 2 is 3.5. Okay, so that fraction is well and good. Or even if it is a negative number, for example, prime number is 3, R is a, and here you have Q is an integer. So let's say I take it as a negative number. So P by Q becomes what? Minus 3. So here this element is also not in R. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay. So when we talk about other elements in R, it can be fractions also, or the numbers that go to the left of it. That is, we are talking about negative numbers. Okay. So here can be, yes, definitely it can be. It can be negative also. It can be once in middle also. I hope this is clear. Subhadra, Harsha. Okay, so here the answer is 1 and 3. Fine. Chalo. If this is clear to you, try the next one. Okay. Now here we are not actually saying, see here you can see P is a prime number, Q is a, no, but here we are talking about the nature of Q with respect to integers. Okay. Till now what we have done, P is a prime number, Q is a whole number. Okay. So one number we are talking about. Now we are talking about Q is what? Q is sum of five integers. That is the nature of five integers together. You have to keep in mind now. That would be the nature of Q. Okay. So keeping that in mind, now try solving the question. Okay, so P is a prime number, Q is the sum of five integers, and R is a composite number. Okay. Now, which of these conclusions is R true? And 2. Okay. Okay. Harsha. Shubham 1, 2, 3. Rajnikant 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1 and 2. 1 and 3. 1 and 2. And 3. All right, 1 and 3. What about others? 1 and 3. Okay. One and 3. 1, 2, 3. Fine. All right. So let's see here. P is a prime number, that is fine. Q is sum of five integers. This is an area that you have to focus upon, right? Now, when we say Q is a sum of five integers, what is the point you have to note here? First and the foremost thing is, we are not mentioning any positive or negative aspect here. Yes? We are just mentioning five integers here. So we are not talking about positive or negative integers. So we can choose any integer here. Okay. Now, when we talk about five integers, again, it is not necessary that it has to be consecutive. Yes. It can be any such integer here, right? So now you tell me regarding Q. Okay. If I have to add up these five integers, can I bring it to any value I want? Is that possible? Let's say if I want 2 here, I can take 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. If I want minus 5, 0, 0, 0, minus 5. Okay. So please understand here, it is not given that it cannot be repetitive, it cannot be consecutive, it cannot be positive or negative. Okay. This is the basic premise of this logic. Okay. Once you get this logic, The rest is clear. Okay. So everyone got one as the correct answer. That is fine. Okay. Now what about the second and the third one? So it says P plus Q by R can be zero. If it can be zero, that means what? In this scenario, P plus Q is equal to zero. Then only you will have what? P plus Q by R being zero. Okay. Now, if this has to be zero, now P is a prime number and it has to be only positive, right? Let's say 2. Now, what about Q? If this has to be 0, that means Q should take what? The value minus 2. Now, is that possible? Can Q be minus 2? Q is what? Is nothing but sum of 5 integers. Okay. So here the sum of 5 integers could be what? 0, 0, 0, 0, minus 2. Sum of 5 integers. Okay. So Q can be negative. Therefore, P plus Q is, yes, 0. Okay. So when P plus Q is 0, definitely P plus Q by R is 0. So can be 0. That is again correct. Okay. Now what about the third one? R by P plus Q can be 1. Okay. Now when can this be 1? It can only be 1 when both the numerator and the denominator are the same. Yes. If the denominator and the numerator has to be same, that means R is what? R is a composite number. So let's say 4. P is what? Prime number. Let's say 2. And Q is again sum of 5 integers. So here, can I put 2 here? Yes, I can put 2 here because again sum of 5. 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. Okay. So this one is also correct. Okay. So sum of 5 integers is given. The clarity is not given that there are 5 consecutive. They have to be positive. Okay. ऐसा कुछ नहीं दिया गया. So you can choose the numbers as you see fit. Fine. Chalo. If this is now clear to you, so here all 3 conclusions are correct. Okay. All right. If this is clear to you, try one more. Okay. We are going from the basics to a level above UPSC will go, and then we will solve the UPSC 2023 questions also. Okay. The questions that we have learned till now. Okay. So first do this. In 5-6 questions, we'll get to the UPSC ones. Okay. So here 3 variables given again P, Q, R. Okay. But now it is given that P is the product of 3 consecutive single digit prime numbers. Okay. Q is sum of 3 consecutive single digit prime numbers. And R is the sum of P and Q. So you have to find the nature of P plus Q, P minus R, and R minus Q. So solve it and tell me which conclusions are valid here. One and three, okay. 3. Okay. All. Okay. 1 for sure. 3 is doubtful. Okay. Shubham 1. Okay. 1 and 3. Fine. So we are getting 3 different answers, 1 and 3, 1 and all. Okay. And what about others? 1 and 3. Okay. So here what you are focusing on? P is product of 3 consecutive single digit prime numbers. What will be those numbers? You tell me. Either it would be single digit prime numbers. Yes, 2, 3, 5. Or it can be exactly 3, 5, 7. Okay. Now the next one is not possible 5, 7. It would be 11. Okay. Because we are talking about single digit prime numbers. Right. So in this scenario, what could be the possible values of P here? P is 1530. Okay. Here it is 35, 105. Right. So this is your even number. This is your odd number. Fine. So the nature of P can be two values, that is 30 and 105. Okay. Now what about Q? Q is again sum of 3 consecutive single digit prime numbers. Again, that means what? 2 plus 3 plus 5, or it is 3 plus 5 plus 7, 8, 10, 12, 15. Right. So either it is 10 or 15. Now R is what? R is basically the sum of P plus Q. Fine. Now what is P plus Q? P plus Q can be a 3-digit number. Okay. So here you can see here that is 30 plus 10, 40, 30 plus 15, 45. But here you can see 105 is there plus 10. That is, yes, in this scenario, it can be a 3-digit number. Okay. Now P minus R must always be negative. Okay. Now here you can see P minus R. Now what is R? R is nothing but sum of P and Q, right? So just put that here. That means what? P minus Q. That is, we are talking about minus Q. Now Q is what? Positive. So minus of it is must always be negative. This would be what? True or false now? This would be true. So you do not have to actually calculate, है ना? 30 ऐसा करके करने का जरूरत नहीं है. The point is, if you just put the value P plus Q. The same goes for the nature of R minus Q also. Okay. R minus Q is given. Again, put what is R? P plus Q minus Q. That is P. What is P? P is positive. Must always be positive. That is correct. Okay. So all 3 statements here are correct. I hope this is clear. Fine. Chalo. If this part of it is clear to you, come to the next one. Okay. 1 second. Yes. Come to this one. Now here we are talking about what? We are talking about adding up natures of integers, right? So here we have 3 of the 5 distinct positive integers. Okay, so we have A, B, C, D, E. Out of this, 3 of them are prime numbers, and 2 of them, the remaining 2, are composite numbers. Okay, and it is given that they are not necessarily in order. What does it mean? That means it is not like that. That is, the first 3 are prime and the remaining 2 are composite. That is not the case. They can be jumbled up also. Okay. So here, out of these 5 positive integers A, B, C, D, E, 3 are prime and 2 are composite. Now, 2 statements are given here. You have to find out which statement is or correct. Okay. That is A plus D minus 5C can be even. 3A minus 2B plus E is definitely odd. Okay. So one is a possibility statement. One is a definite statement. Okay. So here you can assign any value to your integers A, B, C, D. Okay. Okay. So tell me, try solving this and tell me which statements are correct. Here, the basic premise is what? Again, no, even and odd. Okay, that is even plus even, even, even plus odd, odd, odd plus odd, even. Okay, use the concept and try solving this. Okay, Sagar, fine. Harsha, fine. Raghavan, fine. Okay. Avalika, fine. Okay. One. Okay. One only. Great. What about others? Okay. So here what you have can be even. Okay. A plus D minus 5C can be even. So in this scenario, is there any fixed order that I have to assign? That is, this is odd or this is even. Is there any such fixed order? इस scenario में here, that is, my A can be both a prime number or a composite number. It's not given. Okay. It's clearly given that that order is not there. Okay. So I can assign any values here. Okay. It can either be a prime number or it can be a composite number. Okay. Now, when I see this scenario, that is A plus D minus 5C can be even. That means I just have to prove. Okay, I just have to prove what? This term A plus D minus 5C can be even. Okay. Now, for that to be even, what should happen? This should be even, this should be even, and this should be even. That is, sum of even numbers becomes what? Even. Right. Now, is that possible here? Okay. So there are two composite numbers and there are 3 prime numbers. This is what is given. Okay. Now 2 composite numbers. Now can composite numbers be even? Is that possible? No. So composite numbers we can see 4, 6, 8 composite numbers. They are even. Okay. Not necessarily in all cases, but yeah, there are composite numbers which are even, right? So assume ki okay, this is an even composite number. This is again an even composite number. Okay. So A and D composite numbers. Now what happens here to C? Now C is by default, it has to be a prime number. Okay. Now I have to ensure that C is such a value that it becomes even. 5C becomes even. Okay. So when can that happen? For example, if C is 2. If C is 2, what happens? It is a prime number. Right. So in this scenario, 5C becomes what? An even number. So there is can be means what? Even if in one scenario it is true, that conclusion is true. Is this clear to everyone? Okay. So I am assigning requisite values to my integers here because the order is not fixed. Is this clear? Everyone got one as the answer. So I'm hoping this is the logic that you used. Okay. All right. Now the same thing here also. Okay. When you say 3a minus 2b plus e is definitely odd, what does it mean? If I can show that this becomes even, then I can negate this statement, right? Now, how do I negate it? Again, even banana hai, so what do I do? Okay, this term, no matter what happens, 2 into something is there, it will always be even. Okay, this is always even. Okay, now we are bothered about A and E. If I assume this is a composite number, this is again a composite number. Both are even composite numbers. In that scenario, what happens? This is even, this is even, this is even. So is definitely odd. That is negated. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay. You can put values also. Okay, you can put values, but the problem there would be extreme scenarios you might not be able to consider. That's all. Okay. Is this concept clear? What we have done? Dinesh got it. Praulika got it. What about others? Sure. Take it. Okay. Chalo. If this is clear to you, this one I'm giving to you as homework. Okay. इसको आप homework try it at your own home and try it yourself. Okay. That is here I'm saying P is the division of two prime numbers. We are talking about dividing two prime numbers. That is the nature of P. Okay. Q is the product and R is the sum. Based on it, the nature of it. Would you be able to solve this at home? है ना ये कर लोगे I hope. Yes. Okay, that is division we are talking about. Pattern. Fine. चलो if this is clear to you, चलो do one more. अब यहाँ से जितने questions हम कर रहे हैं, these kind of questions have not been asked in UPSC till date. Okay, but they are a level above. Okay, what UPSC has asked till now. ठीक है, तो इस अब जो questions हैं थोड़े से आपके imagination का part है. Okay, you will have to think on the same, but it's easy. It's not that hard. Just the imagination aspect you have to think. Okay, so now अभी तक हम क्या कर रहे थे? P is a prime number. Okay, or P is a product of some numbers. Okay, or sum of some numbers. Okay, अब हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम nature पूरा बदल रहे हैं. We are saying P is what? Product of all odd prime numbers less than 50. So our nature of P is what? A huge number now. It is product of all odd prime numbers less than 50. Okay. Now what is Q? Q is the product of all composite numbers less than 50. Okay. So you have to think when we start of all products, that means what? 4, 6, 8, 9. इसकी बात कर रहे हैं. Okay. and R is the product of first 50 natural numbers. Okay, so think about that aspect first. What will be P? What will be Q? What will be R? Okay, now the question is the value of P into Q by R is an odd number. Okay, and the second one is R by 2Q is an odd number. Okay, so think about this. This is actually a good question. And tell me which conclusion out of these two statements are correct. All right, so try it yourself. I want you to try this yourself and then I'll explain. Fine, try it. Yeah, we got one only, one. Okay. What about others? Shubham, neither. Okay, fine. What about others? What about Pravalika? Yeah. Okay. So here what you are seeing, P is product of all odd prime numbers less than 50. Now what does it mean? It simply means if I write P, okay, now think of this, okay? Product of all odd prime numbers. What will you write here? Here, 3. You'll not write with 2, okay? You'll start with 3. 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, like this. Okay? Yeah, you will end it in 47. Fine. Now, product of all composite numbers, again, product of all composite numbers, that means what? 4, 6, 8, 9, till, again, less than 50 we are talking about, so 49. We'll end with 49. R is product of first 50 natural numbers. That means we are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 till 50. First 50. Okay. Now, when we talk about this nature here, what happens here? P into Q by R. Now, P is this. Okay. So think about it like this now. 3 into 5 into 7 like this. Okay. Here it is 4 into 6 into 8 into like this. By R. Now, R is 1 into 2 into 3 into like this till 50. Okay. Here it is still 47. Here it is still 49. Okay. Now tell me, here 3 and 3 will get cancelled. 4 and 4 will get cancelled. 5 and 5 will get cancelled. 6 and 6 will get cancelled. 7 and 7 will get cancelled. 8 and 8 will get cancelled. 9 and 9 will get cancelled. Okay. So what we observe here is exactly that is that remaining terms that are missing is that what 2 and 50 are the ones which are remaining. Okay. So that means what? P into Q by R becomes what? 1 by 100. Now, is this an odd number? This is. Are you getting this, everyone? ठीक है. यहाँ पे आपको क्या आपने गलतियां क्या की? Either you did it till here 49. Okay. यहाँ 49 तक किया और यहाँ पे odd observe नहीं किया. You took all prime numbers. है ना, आपने यहाँ पे 2 भी लिख दिया and you cancelled it out. ठीक है. That might be the mistake. Fine. Chalo, if this is clear, what about this one? R by 2Q is an odd number. R is again 1 into 2 into 3. It goes till 50 by 2Q. 2 times of. Now Q is what? Q is 4 into 6 into 8 into 9 into like 49. Now what happens here? Here 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Out of these numbers, now please note what is this all about? This is nothing but natural number. Okay. When we talk about a natural number, it is nothing but prime plus composite number. Yes. When we talk about natural numbers, it is nothing but prime numbers plus composite number plus 1 also. Yes. So note this down so that it becomes easier. When we talk about natural numbers, this is 1 plus all the prime numbers that are there plus all the composite numbers that are there. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये 4 6 8 9 व्हाट इज इट, दिस इज ऑल कॉम्पोजिट नंबर्स. ओके, तो वो सब कैंसिल हो जाएगा. सो व्हाट वुड बी रिमेनिंग हियर, इट वुड बी प्राइम नंबर्स. ओके, अब उसमें से हमने 2 को भी कैंसिल कर दिया. दैट मींस व्हाट, वी आर लेफ्ट विथ प्राइम नंबर्स व्हिच आर ऑल ऑड प्राइम नंबर्स. आर यू गेटिंग दिस एवरीवन? इज दिस क्लियर? ठीक है, अब यहां पे एक लास्ट पॉइंट नोट करो. That is, all the numbers that we got, we are getting odd prime numbers. Okay. And here what happens? At the end, what happens? We are able to eliminate only till 49. Here we have a 50 also. That means this 50 is multiplied here. That is all odd prime numbers multiplied with 50. This becomes what? This becomes an even number. So here this is again wrong. Are you getting this, everyone? That is, both conclusions are false. Is this clear, everyone? What we have done? Same logic. Fine. What about others? Shubham got it. Raghavan got it. Clear. Ashwadhan. Fine. चलो, यदि ये सब समझ में आ गया है, so now try one more. Okay. Here you have, now the limit is not there. We are talking about all prime numbers. Q is all natural numbers. R is all composite numbers. Okay. So that limit has also been removed. Now two conclusions are there. You tell me which conclusions are valid here. Okay. That is, P into Q by R will always be equal to P square. P into R by Q can be 1. Okay. Take your time, but I want you to solve this. Only 2. Okay. So fine. Lakshmi, fine. Dinesh, both. Harsha, 2. Okay. What about others? What do you think? Sagar, only 2. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay. So here we have what? P is the product of all prime numbers. Okay. So again, what is P? So here if we write P, it is 2 into 3 into 5 into 7 into like this. Okay. All prime numbers we are talking about. Okay. What happens to Q? Q is product of all natural numbers. Okay. That is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 like that. Divided by R. R is product of all composite numbers. Okay. Again, all composite numbers, that means what? 4 into 6 into 8 into 9 into like this. Okay. You can see here what happens here. Here there is no term here because this is supposed to be prime number. Here it is composite. Okay. So if I reduce this, let's say this is prime. Now this is natural numbers, right? Again, here we are talking about what? Basically prime and composite. Okay. So again, when I negate here, 4 will get negated, 6 will get negated, now 7 will be here, 8 will get negated. What does it mean? What are the elements that I'm missing here? That means 2, 3, 5, 7 are remaining here. That means what is that? That is again a prime number itself. Are you getting this, everyone? Here, if I remove composite numbers out of it, what will be left? You will be left with prime numbers itself. Are you getting this, everyone? ठीक है, यदि समझ लो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 like this it is there. You are removing the composite numbers 4 6 8 9. What is left here? 1 into 2 into 3 into 5 into 7. What is it? This is 1 into, basically the rest are what? All prime numbers itself. So this is what? Prime numbers. So this is equal to what? Are you getting this? Everyone, what we have done? Raghan got it. What about the rest of you? ठीक है, Dinesh got it. Yes, got it. ठीक है. Now come to the same aspect of it here. P into R by Q. Okay. Again, product of all prime numbers. Okay. That is 2 into 3 into 5 into 7. Same nature. R is what? All composite. Again, 1 into, sorry, 4 into 6 into 8 into 9. Like this, it will be there. By Q. Q is what? 1 into 2 into 3. Okay. Now what do you observe here? This is prime. This is composite. And this is what? Natural number. Here they will cancel each other out. 3, 3, 4, 4. Okay. So this one will be equal to 1. Okay. But what is the statement saying? P into R can be 1. Is this can be 1 or must be 1? When you cancel it out, this is definitely 1. It is a definite number that you are getting. So here this should be what? P into R by Q must be 1, not can be 1. So that is the reason this conclusion is false. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay. So P into R by Q, yes, its value is equal to 1 in all scenarios. Okay, so it's not can be, it has to be must be, or P into R by Q is 1. Okay, that is definite conclusions. I hope this is clear. No, what we have done, that is the reason we have discussed the concept of definite and possibility. Fine. Chalo, if this is clear to you, we deal with one more problem of a different nature. Okay. If you solve this, and then we'll jump to the UPSC questions. Okay. So right now what we have done, we have only dealt with product, something prime numbers, product of prime numbers. Okay. But now we are dealing with the powers of the numbers. Okay. So here it is given P is equal to y to the power x. Okay. Now what is x? X is product of all prime numbers. Now what is y? Y is a single digit prime number. Single digit composite number. Okay. So then you have to decide what would be the nature of P. Okay. Will P be odd? Will P be even? Or can P also be 0? Okay. So think about this. X is product of all prime numbers. Y is a single digit composite number. Okay. You have to find out what would be the nature of P. Okay. Try this one out. Dinesh, 1, 2, okay. Harsha, 2, okay. One and 2, okay. Raghavan, fine. 1 and 2, okay. Sagar, fine. Harshvardhan, okay. 1 and 2. One and 2. Okay. Lakshmi. Great. Okay. So here what you're doing, again, x is product of all prime numbers. What would be the nature of x? If it is product of all prime numbers, it will be even or odd? It will be even. Right? The reason is 2 into the rest, whatever it is there, 3 into 5 into 7 into 11. All of this will be what? Odd. Okay. So 2 into odd is what? Even. Okay. So here y is what? Y is a single digit composite number. Okay. So when we talk about a single digit composite number, that means it is either 4, yes, 6, 8 or 9. Okay. Whereas x is even. So this is even, this is even, this is even, this is even. Okay. Now what would be the nature of p? That is what you have to guess. Now here you can see when 4 to the power even is there, that means what? It will be even, even, even. Now 9 to the power even is there. That means 9 square, right? So it is 81. That is odd here. Okay. So what would be the nature of p? P can be even or odd. Okay. But it will never be 0. I hope that is clear. Fine. Chalo. If this is clear to you, this one, do it as homework. Okay. Again, this is an homework for you. Try it out. Okay. Again, based on the nature, you can take a screenshot of this. Okay. And you can try this at home and find out which statements are correct out of the two. Fine. Chalo. This is clear. Now try directly UPSC questions. Okay. So this is a UPSC question which is asked in your 2023 paper last year. So again, prime number is given, composite number is given, three statements are given. Which of the above statements are correct? Okay. Try solving this one. One only, okay. What about others? Here P is prime, C is composite number. Okay, so P plus C by P minus C can be even. 2P plus C can be odd. P and C can be odd. It's given can be, so it is possibility. We are talking about possibility. All. One only, one and two, all okay. One and two, two, okay. Okay. Raghavan, all okay, fine. What about Pratap, Lakshmi, Sagar, Rajnikant? All okay. Sagar, all. ठीक है. So here you have again a prime number plus a composite number by prime number minus composite number. So it can be even. So give me any such prime number and composite number. If I put the value here, it should be even. What would be the number here? You can put anything, right? So here composite number, let's say if it is 4 has to be there, so it has to be greater than 4. Eleven. I can put 11, right? I can put 11 as a prime number and a composite number. I can put it as 9. Okay. So here you can see 11 plus 9. 11 is a prime number, composite number is 9, right? So 11 plus 9, that is 20 by 11 minus 10. That is, it's an even number. So that is correct. Okay. Same way, when we talk about 2p plus c here, p is what? A prime number. It can be even or odd. Okay. But when we talk about 2p, what does it become? This is 2 times of either an even number or an odd number. This is always even, right? Now, what about C? It is saying it can be odd. C is what? Composite number. So, is there an odd composite number? we have, right? 9 is there. You know? So if I put that here, that is my composite number is odd. Then what happens here? Even plus odd, odd. That means this is correct. Okay. Similarly here, P into C can be odd. Again, that means what? P can be even or odd. Composite can be even or odd. Okay. I have to make it odd. That means I have to multiply an odd prime number with an odd composite number, right? So odd prime number 3, odd composite number 9. So can be odd. That is also correct. So all three statements are correct. 1, 2, 3. Fine. Chalo, if this is clear to you, try another UPSC question. Okay. So you can see a trend is clearly there. Okay. Asked in 2023, 2022. Now I'll show you 2021 also. Okay. So this is your UPSC 2022 question. Try solving this. Okay. Again here P prime number, Q composite number, and three statements given. Okay. P into Q can be odd number. Q by P can be prime number. P plus Q can be a prime number. Try this one out. Tell me which statements are correct here. Dinesh all okay, fine. Raghavan all okay. Harshavardhan all okay. Two, three, okay, fine. What about Harsha? Sagar all okay. Okay. So here what you have? Again, P into Q can be odd number. P is a prime number, composite number. Okay, so can be an odd number again. Take it odd. Here also take an odd number, right? Odd composite number, 3 and 9. That is 27 is an odd number, correct. Q by P can be a prime number. Okay. So Q by P, that means what? I should be able to properly divide it. Okay. So let's say my prime number is 3. Okay. Now Q is a composite number, right? So when Q is a composite number here, it should be 9. Okay. Exactly. 4 by 2, you can take. Okay. So here it is 3, 2. So can be a prime number. That is correct. P plus Q can be a prime number. P plus Q. Now P plus Q, if it has to be a prime number, again, take it has to be odd, first of all. No? So 2 has to be there and Q can be 3. Nee, 3 nee, composite number, right? So we are talking about 9, exactly. Okay, so 2 plus 9. So 9 is composite, 2 is prime, and here it is 11. So that is a prime number. So this is also correct. Okay, so this was asked in your UPSC 2022. Fine. Chalo, 2023 done, 2022 done. Try another one, 2021. Okay, two statements given. The sum of 5 consecutive integers can be 100. The product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. Okay. Two statements given. Tell me which statements do you think are correct here? Both. Okay. Shubham, fine. Dinesh, see. Okay. Harshvardhan, see. Okay. Fine. Shubham, 18 to 22. Okay. Both. Sagar, fine. What about others? The sum of 5 consecutive integers can be 100, and the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. Here, what will you do? Sum of 5 consecutive integers is mentioned, right? So 5 consecutive integers could be what? Yeah, if you want to calculate, it can be what? X plus 1, X plus 2, X plus 3, X plus 4. 5 consecutive integers. Okay. Their addition is equal to what? 100. Okay. Now when you calculate, you will get X. That means what? The number from which. So here you will get, as Shubham mentioned, you will start from 18, right? That means 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. The sum of 5 numbers is 100. Okay. Now, similarly here, the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. Okay. So what were those numbers? 1, 2, 3. Fine. Any other number possible? Here you can see sum of the numbers is what? 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. Product is also 6. 1 into 2 into 3. Yes, minus 1, 0, 1 is also there. And minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 is also there. Okay. Here also product is 0, sum is also 0. Here product is minus 6. When you multiply minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and the sum is also minus 3. So 3 such pairs are available. Okay. So here it is both the statements are correct. Okay. Now see how UPSC plays with students, right? You can see this option. Option is what? The product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. This was asked in your 2021. Okay. Now see in 2022, the very next year, what is the question they asked? The sum of 3 consecutive integers is equal to their product. Okay. Sum of 3 numbers is equal to their product. How many such possibilities are there? How many possibilities are there? You only have answered it right now. There are how many possibilities are there? 3 such possibilities. Exactly. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and you have minus 1, 0, 1. Okay, so the option that is there in your 2021 was your main question in 2022. Okay, and this is a repeated pattern that we observe in UPSC. Right? So if this is done, we come to the last question for today. Okay, again a question from 2023. Okay, so solve this question and we'll wind up today's class. Okay, so here we have 3 of the 5 positive integers p, q, r, s, t is given. Okay, so 3 of them are even and 2 of them are odd. Okay, again not necessarily in the same order. So then 2 statements given. Okay, so it is definitely even, it is definitely odd. If you can just prove, yeah, even one of these scenario is odd, that means the statement can be negated. The same way here also. Okay, so try solving this one. Tell me what would be the answer here. Okay, Harshvardhan, fine. 2. Okay, Dinesh, 1. Fine. Agar 1. Okay. What about others? Okay, Raghavan, 1. Fine. ठीक है. What about Harsha? Here, out of the 5, 3 are even. Okay. 2 are odd. 1. Okay. Fine. So see here, what about the second? Let's first discuss the second aspect. If 2p plus q plus 2r minus 2s plus t, if this is definitely odd, that means what? If we can show that this term becomes even in one of the scenarios, then the statement is negated, right? So what about this nature? 2p, 2q, 2r, and 2s. This will always be, yes, it is definitely even. In all the scenarios, it is even. Okay. So we have something which is even plus q, which we do not know, plus t, which we do not know. Okay. Now, how do we make this even? We simply assume what? Out of the 3 even numbers that we have, these 2 are what? Even numbers. So all 3 are even. That means in one of these scenarios, yes, all 5, when you add this entire thing, it becomes even. So it's definitely odd is negated. Okay. Now come to this part. P plus Q minus plus R minus S minus T is definitely even. Again, here we are dealing with what? We are dealing with P plus Q plus R minus S plus T. This is the common aspect. So if we can show that yes, this is odd, then we can negate it. Okay. So let's first assume both are odd here. The odd numbers that are there, they are here. This is even numbers. So what happens? Even plus even plus even, this is even, minus odd plus odd, even. That is even number. So that is what we are getting. Okay. What if I interchange here? Okay, that is even plus odd. Okay, here I keep even and odd. Now two odd here, even here. In this scenario, what happens? Even plus even plus odd is odd. Even plus odd is odd. Odd minus odd is what? Odd minus odd is even. Again, we are getting the same statement. Okay. What happens if both the odd I place here? That means even, odd, odd, and here it is even, even. Okay. Again, even plus odd. That is even. Even and even. Again, even. Even minus even. Again, even. That means in all the scenarios that I can think of, in all the scenarios, this becomes what? It is definitely even. Okay. So here the answer is what? One only. I hope this is clear to everyone what we have done. Okay. So here the answer is one only. Fine. All right. So with that, we end the class for today. Okay. If you have any doubt, any student has any doubt, that person can stay back. You can ask the doubt. Okay. Now we'll continue with the classes. Today we just discussed about the nature of number system. Okay. From tomorrow onwards, we'll have again tomorrow also the timing will be the same 2 p.m. Okay. And the class will be at 2 p.m. Fine. Tomorrow we'll do what? Statement based questions. The pattern that we have recently seen in the last 2-3 years. Okay. So this we'll try to discuss tomorrow. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can stay back after class. This PDF will be provided to enrolled students. Yes, Dinesh. Okay, I'll provide the PDF to you. Okay. Total classes in the crash course, there are 7 classes. 7 classes in total. And the classes, I know it is bit fast. The reason for the same is in the foundation course, I took the same topic, number system, for 3 months. Okay, 3 months, near about 30 classes I took for number system. Okay, but in crash course, we have to wind up in 7 classes. Therefore, the same content in 3 months, we have to learn it in 7. Okay, so it will be the pace of the class will be a bit fast itself. Okay, so I want you to please cope up with the same. Okay, so in 1 week, the intent is to complete the number system in 1 week. Every day the classes will be there at 2 p.m. Fine. Any other doubt, anyone?